Right then, I hope you can hear me. Quite a windy day today, but I've got to do this before the rain starts. It's a video for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2-litre EX automatic. This car's got 102,000 miles. It's been wonderfully looked after. There's one private owner from new, and he's had the car serviced each and every time by the Honda main dealer, and it is in beautiful condition. So it looks like a car's done a third of the mileage, in all honesty. Lights and lenses are completely clear and intact. Bonnet itself hardly exhibits a stone chip of any note. I mean, there will be the odd light stone chip, don't get me wrong, but you know, taking into account the mileage, it is extraordinary. Near side panels absolutely smooth, there's no indentations in them at all. Near side front alloy really good, just the centre cap and a little bit of pickling on one of the spokes, but in all honesty, wonderful. Again, offside rear, near side rear again really good, just a tiny bit on the top of the rim there. Panels very good, only marks I can see very light brush marks which would easily just polish straight off, but around the back, no entry marks, no damage to the tailgate, absolutely superb. And then offside of the vehicle, driver's side, again just unbelievably clean. Alloy on the side, really nice. And then remaining panels are exceptionally clean. And final alloy, really good. There was one tiny little pin dent which I'm going to try and look for, and a touch in, but let me just try and find them. Ah, there we are. I knew it was there somewhere. I mean, it is just, I mean, it's smaller than my little fingernail there. And then on the front bumper corner, there is a touch in just done there, but in all honesty, that's it. And it really is an extraordinary car. Coming into the boot area, absolutely massive boot and in very good condition given the use it will have had over the years. Obviously, electric tailgate, all working exactly as it should. Coming to the back of the car, the Achilles heel of all family cars, and yet this one has been kept absolutely beautifully. Tons of leg room, and the leatherwork is in extraordinary condition given the age of the car. So coming to the front, on the passenger side, again, the passenger seat is in beautiful condition again, absolutely fantastic. Finally come to the driver's door card, which looks pretty much as new. Footwell areas all very good, just obviously a little bit of wear on the driver's mat there. And the driver's seat, quite extraordinary. Inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dash can be seen illuminated, which looks absolutely as new. It's in incredible condition. I'm just going to close the electric blind above my head so it doesn't glare off the sat-nav screen, but all working exactly as it should. If we pop the car into reverse, you get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. As I said, if cars just a few years older were as nice as this one, it would be make my life a lot easier, but this one has been kept so well. 102,077 miles, no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Steering wheel looks absolutely as new. I mean, it really is a case where the video, as is often the case, can't really do justice to it. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V, and it's a 2-litre EX automatic. This particular car is registered RE62FMX, and the mileage showing currently is 102,077 miles. The reason we do these videos, as I say in all of them, is very simple. It's basically so that if anyone that is looking at this car in one of our adverts, they actually get to see that very car in operation, which we believe is very important. We know to our cost, unfortunately, how frustrating it can be to go and see a car, which can look perfectly good in the description and the photographs provided, only to drive it to find out it's got a fundamental issue that shows up whilst you drive the vehicle. So that's why we do it. It's also done on the same roads as we take customers on test drives, and the reason for that is we then hope it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. As you'll know from the adverts and the walk around video, this is a rare beast, because we don't normally buy cars, even Hondas, with this mileage. Not that they don't take the mileage, it just doesn't fit what we do as a company. You know, we can buy lower mileage ones, so we tend to. However, when you get a car like this one, which has had just the one private owner from new, who has serviced it each and every time at the Honda main dealers, and essentially just drives absolutely as new. I mean, it is an extraordinary car and a real testament to the quality of Honda's engineering. The engine, you press a button, starts instantly. It sounds exactly as it would have done when it was new. It's sweet, it's smooth, it revs, so idles perfectly. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all that relate to the engine or any other part of the car. But as I said, the engine just, it is astonishing to think it's done the miles it's done. Having said that, they can take enormous mileages in their stride with good regular maintenance, and obviously this one's had exceptional maintenance up to this point. The engines are also just lovely to use day in, day out. It's very quiet and smooth, and for a car of its size and type, in mixed driving, it gives actually very good economy. But obviously timing chain driven, so no timing belts ever scheduled for the cars because they haven't got one. But yeah, a wonderful, wonderful engine. Engine then feeds through into the auto gearbox, which, like the engine, is just a beautiful piece of engineering. All the gear changes are exactly as you'd hope they'd be, and as they were when they were new. They're slick, they're smooth, they're relatively quick for an automatic of this type as well. And what they've done is chosen the ratios for the gearbox to try and extract the best out of the car in terms of economy and performance, obviously. But notwithstanding their reputation for reliability, you should still do the same checks on the gearbox that you should do with any automatic gearbox, and that's just when you're in neutral, put it to drive and reverse, and just see if there's any delays in engagements or any kind of metallic clunks as they go in. Also, there shouldn't be any, the gear changes on the move should be very slick, and everything in every respect is perfect on it. So powertrain of the vehicle, absolutely spot on. Same goes with the steering, because the whole car, I can't differentiate between this and one done 20,000 miles in terms of the way it drives. It just is incredibly tight. The steering is lovely, beautifully weighted. It's accurate, it's precise, very well judged for this type of car. And as I said, it feels like I'm driving a new car with it on the helm. It just, everything feels really taut. It tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the limit. I should always do that when I'm not going around a corner. It always helps. But it just feels very, very, very smooth. Chassis of the vehicle, what I'm looking for on road test is any kind of noises coming from underneath the vehicle, especially with a car of this age and mileage. So when it hits a bump, it should be subdued, and there shouldn't be any kind of secondary kind of chatterings or knockings, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely spot on. The chassis is also brilliantly developed. The CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world for a very, very good reason, because they've pretty much hit the sweet spot with every single aspect of the car. That's not to say it's the best at every single thing, because it clearly isn't going to be. In terms of reliability, it is. There's no two ways about that, and durability. But when it comes to driveline dynamics and other things, there'll be cars better in certain areas, obviously. But what they give you is a very compliant, comfortable ride, because they know basically it's designed to put 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the car. And what's noticeable with some SUVs is when you go along the road, they can pitch more. There's a lot of body movement going on. You don't get a lot of that with the CR-Vs. They hold station through the corners really, really well. So going through these corners up here a little bit quicker than would do normally. It is very, very accomplished. It really is. Very little body roll. Holds the road really, really nicely. It's very, very well done, as I said. Just going to go around the corner and give the brakes a shove. I know they're good because we did the pre-delivery inspection. They're very good indeed, actually. But just to give them a thump now. It's a very solid brake pedal, and what I'm looking for, particularly on automatics by the way, is any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all. It's exactly as it should be. So coming to the interior, brilliant visibility in them, absolutely brilliant. First thing everyone that drives CR-Vs notice straight away, great forward and rear visibility, brilliantly huge wing mirrors, gives you fantastic 360 vision, and a lovely place to sit and operate. Brilliantly put together, and this is the classic example of why I always go on about Honda build quality. Build quality is not what the motoring press always claim it is when they're handed brand new cars by manufacturers, because most manufacturers can actually slap together a car pretty well these days. They can make panels fit uniformly and precisely, and paint will look good. So there's very few now with sort of horrible, obvious build quality issues. Build quality isn't that, it's how a car stays together over the long term. And here's a classic example, a car that's 8-9 years old, done 100,000 miles, and exhibits no squeaks, no rattles, nothing at all from the interior. Everything working exactly as it should. The switch gear's got this beautiful quality of actuation when you touch the buttons. Honda do that stuff brilliantly well, and it's completely ignored by the motoring press. They think build quality is squidgy plastics and thunky sounding doors. This has got squidgy plastics, it's got harder plastics too, but those have a good reason. They're practical, so you can just, if you spill your coffee or something else, you just wipe it clean. It's easily done. You can take the little things out in the intersections and the little cup hold areas to clean them so they don't get gunky and horrible. They know this market very well indeed, and they're not slaves to follow my leader in terms of kind of giving impression of quality. This is real quality, and it's all working perfectly. Sat nav, air conditioning, which is dual zone, so different temperatures side to side, and we put it in a nice warm workshop early on, and it blows out lovely cold air. Heated seats work perfectly, and given it's -1 outside today, I've got they've been very, very welcome indeed. Dash in front, very nice and simple, easy to take in information, no more put there, no more needed. It's absolutely spot on. Steering wheel feels like new to hold. It absolutely unbelievable, just exhibits no wear at all, so whoever's owned it, I guess it hasn't got rings or anything else, because it's amazing to think it'd be in this condition. But it is, as I said, quite an extraordinary vehicle, this. It is four-wheel drive. There are no buttons to press because the car does it for you. Honda worked out straight away that most people buying these cars will be driving as I am today in perfectly good conditions. So it doesn't have four-wheel drive permanently running, which tends to get through more fuel, your tyres more quickly, and puts more mechanical stress through the car. This just comes on automatically. As soon as the front wheels start to lose grip, it brings in the rear wheels seamlessly, and it's absolutely brilliant and bulletproof reliable. We've never touched one. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is just to show the car in operation, but to feedback on any issues, of which there are none at all. I know I've kind of laboured the point, and I do apologise, but it really does need saying. This is, a wonderfully engineered car, but this is a great way to get into a top-of-the-range EX automatic at this price range.